What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Crypto Kindness channel. I am excited to be here this morning. Friday morning. It's a beautiful day in Michigan. We don't get a lot of these, so I'm going to try to answer the questions quickly and get the heck outside and enjoy the day. But I got to tell you, really excited to be here today. I had a chance to stream live with this gentleman about a month and a half ago. I learned a ton since that last stream. A lot has changed, and I'm going to seek to learn more from him today. We're going to talk about things like what lessons did we learn during the bull market. We're going to talk about how to make money during this bear market. And as always, the audience loves to know what coins is B-Roots into today. So I'm going to try to do my best to bring him on stream. I got a fixed camera, so I can't do a flip, but we're going to give it a try. So if y'all will help me to welcome the man, B-Roots. Yeah. How's that? Oh, we got him on mute. I think is that
I'm muted. Can you hear me?
We can.
There it is. What's up? It's your boy B-Roots back at it again with Crypto Kindness with our second video.
How you doing, man?
What's going on, man?
I hope I did you as good a justice as I could.
You did great,
all this
man.
type of stuff.
Great.
I was kind of locked in.
How have you been, man?
Dude, I've been doing great. I have really been doing well. Thank you. How about yourself?
Man, it's been super busy the last few weeks. Even today has been crazy. I'm about to go on vacation. It's the bear market, so it's time to take a vacation. I'm heading out to the Maldives in the middle of the world and just relax and get away from crypto for a little bit, which probably won't happen because I'll still probably be checking the charts and things.
Can we get a little feedback from the audience? I think one of us might be clipping. How is the audio? If someone could just hit us up in comments and let us know if we have an issue here. So the Maldives, are you a scuba diver, snorkeler, or are you just going to sit on the beach and drink some cocktails?
I do scuba diving. I do a lot of, this is actually probably going to be one of my most non-active vacations that I've ever taken. I'm jumping off of cliffs in Bali, scuba dived in Costa Rica, Bermuda, Belize, surfing, crazy waves. The most I can do here in the Maldives is scuba dive. Outside of that, there isn't much to do. So, Now,
does the family scuba dive with you?
Oh, it's just going to be me and my lady.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, so no kids, no other family, just hanging out and gonna have some fun. It's my second time in Asia, so it'll be fun. I like
feedback from the audience saying that your mic is a touch too loud.
Touch too loud. Let's turn it down here. Let's see here. You know what? It's probably from my settings. Yep, it's my settings from my yesterday's stream. I was in a different audio. Perfect. How's that? That sound good?
Sounds better to me already.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Yeah. I've had different settings because I was in a different location from my last night's audio stream with Jake Gagan.
Perfect. How was that, by the way?
That was awesome. We're trying to do something different. We're labeling ourselves as the Crypto Kings. We are. Here we go. I'm going to say it up front. We're going to take over BitBoy.
Oh,
we're going to be the #1 channel.
And all this.
So you should check out the stream on Jake Gagan's channel. We're probably going to all combine our channels into one and do a different, aspect to it. We're all kind of in the same coins. They're all looking to get into PulseChain. They're all in Hex. They're all on Cult DAO, MRI. So we're on the same things and we promote pretty much the same stuff. So I was like, why don't we just combine our channels? Like Jake's big on NFTs. I'm big on, different coins and finding coins before anyone else. And Ian Heinisch is like the UFC crypto guy. He's one of the main guys for the UFC. So
nice.
We're combining ourselves and considering ourselves the Crypto Kings. Jonathan, what's going on, bud?
Yeah, we got another guy, Buff on the Beat, says hello. He had to work today, so he wanted me to make sure I said hello to him. Yeah, we've got 24 in chat already. I got to send a big shout out to my buddy Hex on Air. He's always on my live streams, so I appreciate the support there. Seth Cano, B Roots. I love your intros, man.
It's funny because it literally is all on the fly, believe it or not. Nothing is planned out when I do those videos on YouTube. Yesterday, I had a bad one yesterday where I had a mind fart in the middle of like me talking. And I was like, I'm not retaking this back. I'm just gonna go with it. But like, it's just none of it's the real deal. You're getting the real deal on what I think at that time.
That's great. I like the one you did the other day while you're trying to live stream while backing out of a parking spot in your car. I thought that's a good, that's a good time.
Nah, it's probably a parking garage. So, my office is in a, big sky rise. So,
okay.
So there's nobody in that parking lot. I feel like I'm the only one that pays for parking.
We've got iGuy in the chat. What's going on, everybody? Again, Muggsy and Mump, thank you for being here this morning.
Muggsy.
Lots of people here. Texas representing from PulseChain Trainer. Thanks for being with us today, man. Up to 25 folks. Yeah. Do you know a PulseChain Trainer?
I do not.
Yeah.
I do not. Now I do.
Now you do. Yeah, exactly. I know you're always training and staying in shape.
Yeah. Try 5 days a week, but I'm getting old, man. These muscles are kind of going away. This used to be all ripped bicep, not anymore. So it's all that Texas barbecue. So the most I can do is just try to maintain.
That is very true. So tell me what your daily routine looks like. Are you a routine kind of guy? You stick to the same thing, or do you just kind of wing it?
For the most part, I wake up, I do one of two things. Usually like Mondays and Wednesdays, I'll cycle. Okay. Mondays is like a 30-minute cycle class. Wednesdays is an hour cycle class. So I do go hard there, burning anywhere from 500 to 600 calories. I don't eat any breakfast. So I do the intermittent fasting. And then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I will run anywhere from 2 miles to 4 miles, depending on how I feel that day.
Okay.
Then I will take a shower, come in, and do, crypto stuff. So you'll notice me tweeting as soon as I wake up. Sure. I tweet. That's the first thing I do. I start seeing what the charts are like, seeing what's going on. I probably spend about an hour in my bed tweeting and then catching up with the market and what happened overnight. Then I do the conditioning exercises, take a shower, go out and just do all my crypto stuff related. So I'll do my research, looking for new coins, consistently looking for new coins. I'm doing a lot of community building right now. So you'll see me in a lot of spaces calls. You'll see me in a lot of Telegram groups because there's just not a lot of good projects coming out right now. So keeping that community built and that rapport through the community is something I'm big on. And then I'm just, I'll just do my crypto throughout the day. I'll lift right after I get out of that office, and then I'm home.
Nice.
The moon belt, right there.
There it is, on the chair in the back.
Right on the chair.
So you're full-time crypto. That is your.
I quit my job in January.
Oh, congratulations!
I could have done it earlier, but I wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing.
Gotcha. That's smart.
And if I did not have my job, I wouldn't have found MRI and I wouldn't have found Cult DAO as early as I did. So that paid for way more than what I was getting paid at my job. So that already.
Help me understand that. You said if you didn't have your job, you would not have found those. Did I hear you correctly?
As early as I did.
So how did your job?
I would have been working. I would have been working when I bought into any of those coins.
Okay. Gotcha.
So the run up probably would have happened. I probably would have got in a lot later. So the gains that I get, I got in the Cult DAO at a $600,000 market cap.
Sure.
So the gains would have been a lot less the gains of MRI would have been a lot less if I was working. So I'm not telling people to go out and quit the jobs.
Right.
I'm not saying that. But, you know, if you have the ability, and that is something you do strive to do, and you have the ability to do it, my recommendation would be to do it if it's something you love. Main reason for it is because you love it. Like, I didn't love going to work every single day because I worked about an hour, 15 minutes from my house.
Oh, yeah.
I was getting paid really well, but, you know, most of my time, my drive was learning. I was listening to audiobooks. I was listening to YouTube and catching up in crypto in that way through the drive. But I just felt like I could do so much more. And timing was right. Literally 2 months later, I find MRI. 3 months later, I find Cult.
Perfect.
And this is all during the bear market.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I like how you put that into quotation marks.
So
well, let's jump in and start talking about these things. That you transitioned that almost like you did it on purpose.
Yeah.
What are your lessons now? The kind of the thing that inspired me to reach out to you is you put a tweet on Twitter about, you know, every bull market you've been through, which if I understand correctly, this last one was your third. So you've been in since roughly 2014. Do I understand that correctly?
2013. Yeah.
Okay. So you said every bull market you've been through, you've learned something valuable. And you kind of alluded to this last one, you picked up something super huge that is like the alpha. Now you're probably not going to give that one away. I can imagine you don't want to necessarily give that one away, but what are some of the biggest takeaways? Like, help me understand better. You know, what did you learn in the first bull market that set you up for the second? And then what did you learn in the second that set you up for the third? And then, you know, without giving away all of the details, what did you learn in this third market that just has you so excited for the bull market and then the bear market and then the next bull?
This is considered my third bear market. Second, I've had 2 bull markets. So this next one would be my third. That's how my timing went up.
Gotcha. Okay, so I got it a little backwards there.
So yeah, so the third bear market, what I have learned, number one, is to take way more profit. Yes. I do believe I could have taken even more profit during this bear market. I took a lot of profit, but I wish I would have taken more. And in my opinion, you know, this is the trading part of me. So I do understand how some people of Hex wouldn't like this or understand this, but I want to see anywhere from 75 to 85% of your crypto in USDC.
Right now in the bear? Right
now. Like, I wish I had literally 75 to 85% of my crypto in USDC. I'm sitting, I don't want to say how much, but I still have a lot of crypto worth in right now. Okay. I went from $10,000 to $30,000, depending on what time you're talking about during the bear market, to millions.
Sure.
I truly feel that right now I shouldn't be sitting on anything more than anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 in crypto. Gotcha. I have a lot more than that. Now, I've taken a lot more out, but I have lost a lot of value in crypto terms, to where if I just bought back in and waited for that 85 to 95% drop and bought it all back, you would see these crazy big candles spiking up of my buys, but I'm buying back in at the low.
At the low.
And going to ride it back up for even more gains. So a lot of people say holding is the best thing. Correct. Absolutely. Holding is the best thing in crypto. But there also is a time where you don't necessarily need to be holding. So I do wish I had a little bit more out of my profit taking, and I wish I would have taken out more. Now, once again, a little more controversial with something like Hex.
Sure.
So I am staked with Hex. I do have a lot of Hex staked. It would have been better if we know that there's an 85 to 95% drop in any coin and you know it's coming. Why wouldn't you sell and buy it back in later and then restake?
Yeah, exactly. So help me understand a little bit better, very much like the question on the screen here. What is your formula on when to take profits? Have you educated yourself on how to read the charts, how to read that type? I mean, not necessarily being a TA guru, but simply looking at the patterns of the 4-year cycle I could have learned a lot from that. I mean, that's one of my big takeaways is before you start throwing money at something, look at the pattern and see if it's a good time. So help us understand a little bit better on your formula to take profits moving forward. And when are you going to start? Obviously, you can never actually predict the top unless you're Richard.
No one's going to predict the top.
But what's your formula there?
My new formula is bulletproof.
Do we get to hear that?
I would not give you my formula. One day I will. What I'm just going to say is, I'm not going to say trust in me. Just know that what I speak is going to be long term, is going to be bulletproof. It is very bulletproof. And everyone that knows me personally, everyone that knows me just through crypto, and everyone knows me, just hanging out and following, know that I speak. I put the money where my mouth is. I speak how I feel. And I'm 100%. It's backed by math. It's backed by history. It's backed by everything. So have figured that out. But with that said, my formula depends on the actual coin.
Sure.
If it's a meme coin, well, I've got the laws of meme coins. There's a specific formula to that. It's literally, day 5 through 6, you want to have 75 to 85% of your money out. If it's a long-term thing, one thing you should be doing right now during the bear market that I did in the last bear market, where I taught myself how to make it, is learning charts. You don't necessarily have to trade, but you need to know what is going on. All the charting is a representative of buys and sells. That's it. If you make it as simple as that, you should know if there is more sales than buys, if there's more buys and sells, and when you are starting to see that trend change around. You need to know what higher highs are and what higher lows are. You need to know what lower lows are and lower highs are. You need to know what support and resistance is. If you don't know those basics, you are just going with the flow. And in crypto, you can cash out at the right time, but you can completely miss an opportunity to buy back a low if you don't know that. So don't be the guppy of the community. Don't be the guppy of the coin that you're in, because the smart people, the big money, knows what they're doing. They're not, I promise you, they're not just buying in, putting in money and just riding the price up and just riding the price down and riding the price. They're not doing that.
Right.
Hex allows you to do that through selling your interest. But in my opinion, something like Hex there's a way to get more Hex. It's actually, in my opinion, one of the most easiest coins to trade. It really is.
You're just opening up a can of worms there. So let's
so if you learn those support and resistances, it's extremely easy. There's a reason why someone like Jenkins and we are on the same page, and when we bring up trading within Hex, and we're just right on to the T. There's a reason for that, because the way it is set, like, it's very easy, but you are taking risk. So I don't recommend to just go and say, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know how I'm doing it. Just know that you can have a trading portfolio and a staking portfolio. a trading portfolio, and a moon bag portfolio. I have it in different sections.
Gotcha.
I've got a trading portfolio. I've got coins that I'm staked out to 15 years, and I've got coins just in case I need it for a rainy day, and I just sell it and need to pay bills or something happen. So it all really depends on the actual coin on how I take profit. It really does depend.
Okay. Now, when you're talking about learning charts, I mean, that's the number one thing I learned in this bull market is that I need to learn to be able to read the charts and figure out what's going on, the support, the resistance, all the stuff that you just mentioned. You don't have to be a whiz at it, but if you just have a general understanding, then you're, like you said, you're not just chasing the fever.
Correct. That's
Chasing
what happens.
the fever.
You're listening to the news. You're following what everyone else is doing, and you're not making decisions for yourself. You're basing it off of what you hear, believe it or not. You don't think you are, but you truly are. You truly are basing it off of news events, what you think is going to happen, your speculation behind it. There's nothing to it. Meanwhile, you're seeing everyone dumping in sales and the chart going back and forth, up and forth, up and forth, and not realizing there's more sellers than buyers.
So one question just came in here, and it's going to kind of align with what the question I was going to ask about chart reading tips. There's many different philosophies. There's Elliott wave. There's Fibonacci, whatever, however you say that, retracements. There's a few other that I'm blanking on right now. What do you have a specific one you follow, or do you kind of just use all 3 of them, 4 of them pinned over each other?
I follow support and resistance, which basically is the Fibonacci chart. So I will always have a Fibonacci. Usually when you see me bring up some chart, you see a Fibonacci tool chase to it fully. I'll give you a hint. Hex follows it to a T.
Hex follows Fibonacci. Interesting.
To a T.
Now, one of my kind of crypto godfather, he's actually in the chat here. He's been telling me for the longest time, learn and understand Elliott wave. And the interesting thing is when you lay them over each other, they're often very similar.
Yep. Very, very, very similar. Depending on what time frame you're looking at. Elliott wave, in my opinion, is a little more guessing game when it's going to happen, because you create those lines A, B, C, but you don't know what price. So if you just learn that, you don't have the full picture, in my opinion. You got the idea of what's happening after it happens. So if you put Fibonacci with that, you're pretty right on. But yes, it's very similar. It's very the same. I just think that the Elliott wave, it's like, this is what it's doing. This is what it can do. But I think you're reacting just a little bit too late, which is not a bad thing either, because it can actually benefit you to do that. Where Fibonacci says, hey, this level hasn't been retested, it's going up. And what happens is, if you put a Fibonacci on Hex and you look at the retraces, it just hits it to the T, like boom, down. Next level, boom, down. Next level, boom, down. When you go up, it's going boom, up, boom, up. Gets rejected, okay, I'm out. So that's what the Fibonacci for me works on meme coins. It works on majors, medium coins. Like, it doesn't matter. Fibonacci just works, in my opinion, and I like it.
Nice. Perfect. So that was that was your big advice on learning to read charts, also taking more profits. Anything else out of this bull market that you want to throw out to the crowd as is another lesson you learned?
Personally, I don't see the next top happening based off the cycles till 2025.
Yeah.
So based off the halving cycle, based off of an accumulation cycle, that should be your mindset for the rest of the bear market. If it happens beforehand, great. Like, it's you're getting your money a lot faster. I don't think that's happening. We're bearish on all time frames up to the almost a year, like almost like the quarterly time frame. So we're not going back up to a new bull market, in my opinion, anytime soon. Now, keep in mind, if you were in since 2017, you feel like, I don't feel like this is that big of a bear market yet. I'm not feeling it. And maybe it's because I've been in the game for a while, but I think the true reason is because Cult and coins like MRI and coins like Stream Renew, I'm in the green on those. So my portfolio is not feeling it as much as other people's are feeling it. So during this bear market, what should you be doing? In my opinion, one, learning how to read charts. Number two, looking for those coins that come out during the bear market and are working and putting in work and building, because those are what you're going to see massive gains when they have their first big bull run.
Yes.
So I made this comment on the stream last night, and I gave a lot of alpha during that stream. I highly recommend you guys go check it out on Jake Gagan's show.
I'll put a link to it in the description after this.
Yeah, highly recommend. But I go more in depth in this. But coins that have never seen a bull market grow the biggest. That's how you see those 1,000Xs, your 650Xs, those 500Xs, Solana, Avalanches. They never had it. So the hype cycle for there is massive, massive. After that, 3X from the all-time high.
Yeah.
So the biggest upset that everybody had, they were so upset when they saw coins like meme coins, SHIB doing 1,000,000X in a year, 1,000,000X from the low in a year, which is what SHIB did. Is the biggest performing coin of all time was SHIB, from the bottom to the top of all time. And it smashed Bitcoin in its gains in a year. People were pissed off during the bull run why their Litecoin wasn't going up as high. Bitcoin Cash wasn't going up high. Cardano wasn't going to their $10 target that they all thought it was going to. All these coins were not going as high. Why? What I found out and did research during this bear market, I realized that almost every single one of those coins 3X from their previous 2017 all-time high.
I see what you're saying now. So 3X from their all-time high, but at this point, most of them have pulled back 80, 90%. So if you bought today, you could still be in the neighborhood of a 30X in the next cycle. Correct. if they repeat.
Correct. So Ethereum, 1,400 to 3,800 or 4,800. 3X, a little over 3X. Cardano, $1.14 to $3. 3X. Bitcoin, 20,000 to 69,000.
Yeah.
A little higher than 3X. See where I'm going? I can do this for almost every coin that was in the bull market of 2017. 3X, 3 to 3.5X or lower.
See, this is why I reached out to you. Thank you.
Why do everyone think that my targets are so low for Hex?
Now you know.
There it is.
So your target for the next bull market with Hex is going to be $1.50.
$1.50 to $2. The reason why I think it could go a little bit higher because I think PulseChain is going to help it do it. So I do
from
think
4 cents, that's still a pretty darn good.
Yeah. I do, like, from now you're looking at that like, man, that's pretty damn good gains. Yeah, absolutely, it's pretty damn good gains. Like that's it's close to 100x if you got it at 3 cents during the drop. Potentially could go back there. Like, it's very possible it can go back there, and possibly lower. So just realize that there is a reason why you see me not so all about those majors. Why you see me saying, well, in my opinion, Hex is going to be the forgotten, stepchild. I'm not saying I'm getting out of Hex. I'm just saying PulseChain has never seen a bull run before.
Right.
And in the history of crypto, what happens during the first bull run? Your 500X, your 650X, your 1000Xs. So those are the coins I want to get in. My Cult DAO. Why do people think I'm crazy when I literally say it's going to be a $50 billion market cap coin? You ready for this? You ready for this, Alpha?
Hit it.
The total crypto market cap, if I feel that it's going to go during the next market, I don't think it's going to do a 3x. I think it's going to do maybe the 2x, a 1.5x to 2x from its previous all-time high, because it takes that much more economic energy to get over what it was already. And you hear Richard Hart says, there's just not any more gains in it. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Right.
But the total market cap is actually going to get bigger. So if SHIB, and I'll give an example, if SHIB was the big play of 2020, and that did a $40 billion market cap, well, what is SHIB going to do the next time around? 3x from its all-time
How far
high.
down is it right now?
So I'm not sure what the actual market cap is. I think it's like 6 or 7 billion. But hear this out. It topped out at a $40 billion market cap. That means that its next all-time high, if it remains up there and remains doing well, $120 billion market cap would be its next top, potentially, in that area, 3x over that. If I feel, which I do feel, that Cult DAO can pull a SHIB-like run and overtop SHIB, there's more money in crypto now.
120 billion-ish.
Could overtake a $120 billion market cap.
Wow.
Right now, we're sitting at a $40 million market cap. Now, B Roots, you're way too bullish on Cult DAO. You're crazy.
Okay, so before you get to that, hold on, I'm going to pause it because that's a specific question I want to get to. We're jumping a little bit far ahead. I want to kind of wrap up the bull market conversation and transition here to, I do want to acknowledge this question here. If Bitcoin runs up 24, 28K, will it break away from there, dump back down? And the question is, is Cult going to follow this 300-week, 400-week MA? I don't know what's being said there, but perhaps you can help me understand.
He's watched my video. He's watched my latest video on YouTube. So the dump to a 300-week moving average gives Bitcoin in the average of 16.6. Yeah. 16.6, 16.7 is where it's at right now. Every week that passes, that's going up about $80. So if you watch that last video, I feel that one of these moving averages is the bottom for Bitcoin.
Okay.
In my opinion, it's the 300-week moving average. I'm not ruling out the 400-week moving average, but in my opinion, it's the 300-week moving average. And if you watch my video on YouTube, I explain it in detail. It's a very 10 to 15-minute video that explains why at that number.
I watched that, and that was a great information. And for all those that are listening that might want to learn there, again, I can post that in the notes when I'm done here. So what are your bottom indicators beyond that? So, Bitcoin wasn't too far from that 300-week.
No, by $1,000.
Yeah.
And I was calling that since December. I literally called that out on the tweet in December where I said.
My question is for you, for other indicators. One of the things that Richard Hart has said is that the time in the bear market is very important to him, as well as the GBTC discount needs to disappear. Are you in agreement on those two? You're nodding yes there.
Yes, I am. Time is a big thing because it's all relative based on the halving. So you can't bottom too early and just accumulate for an extreme long time waiting for the halving. I just don't see that happening. So that's the time part of it. When he's talking about time, is all these cycles are based off the Bitcoin halving,
right?
Which is not related to 2024. The GBTC, in my opinion, all that stuff is planned out.
Yeah. Tell me
Those
why.
big boys are all talking amongst each other. When the time is right, however they want to bottom the market, they're going to bottom the market.
And they'll use GBTC to do it.
Correct. You'll know when the price gets at a certain point and you see a big spike up, and then the GBTC premium starts going down, like all that stuff's going to come in, and it's all literally going to start coming together. And then it's going to be like, all right, we're ready to go. We're good to go.
So that'll be something important to pay attention to.
Yes. But I just know that those two moving averages, when it touches them, you're going to get a major bounce. Is that bounce the low? Depending on the time. I feel that we are going to bottom sometime between now, or actually 2 weeks ago, where we just had, up until December. Sometime this year, we will bottom. And then we'll have about a year and a half of accumulation. We'll run into 2024 Bitcoin halving. We'll be sitting at anywhere from 40 to 50,000. We'll hover in that area, maybe go down a little bit, scare people off, and then go back up. And then we're off to new all-time highs for 2024 to 2025.
So the bottom, I feel like there's a lot of people that expect, like, once the bottom's in, it's just going to straight back up, which it's not. Once it bottoms, it just kind of trades sideways for a long time with a slight upwards trajectory until you get some momentum.
You get a bounce. But if that bottom has that 60,000, that bounce from 16,000, let's say 16,000 to 30,000 is a 50% bump.
Yeah.
Now you play with $30,000 to $20,000, $30,000 to 25,000, 30, 25, 30, 25, 30, 25. And it's all those
trade in that range.
Leverage traders get eaten up alive because Bitcoin's just being boring for 6 months in between 25 and 30. Every now and again, it goes to 35. Halving comes 40, 50, 40, 50, 40, 50, 40, 50. Take off.
Gotcha.
Let me give you an example. 2020, 2018, 2020. 3,000, from 20,000 to 3,000, up to 10,000, 10,000, 14,000, 10,000, 14,000, 10,000, 14,000, back down to 6,000. Oh, we can't ever go below 6,000. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Back up to 10,000, down to 6,000, 10,000, 6,000. Oh, it's never going to happen. Boom, 6,000, 3,000 bottom. Then goes back up to 6,000, plays with people, 10,000, 6,000, 10,000, 6,000, coronavirus, back to 3,000, but a higher low. Going back up to 10,000 for the halving, only for after the halving, it never saw that again and just went. It's the same situation, just a higher number.
Nice.
So, PulseChain is not an exit scam.
I know. I had to put this up there. There's a couple people going back. It's never going to launch, all this type of stuff. So this leads me into the next question, which, why we're here. So how do people make money in the bear market? Is it just DCAing at these low prices while learning to read the charts, like you said, to know good buy-in positions? Is it, meme coins? I know you put a post on Twitter the other day that you're kind of done with the meme coin thing for a little while. Help us with, how are we going to make money during this time? Or is this just an accumulate and be patient?
The best way to make money is to find the really, really good coins during their hype cycle. You should be on the prowl. If you got time and you're looking, whether you're searching Twitter, whether you're searching, Telegram groups, whether you're just checking out the Twitter of each person that you follow, you should be finding those new coins. For example, our bear market actually started in November of 2021.
Right.
That was the top. So there have been coins that have been pumping. I 333x Cult DAO in that bear market. That was its initial hype cycle. I 130x MRI during the bear market. That's why I say during the bear market. So they're coming. They're coming. Those coins that are getting ready for the next bull run are starting to come out. They're going to start trickling out. So when they start trickling out, you need to be on top of them, not for the next bull market, but you can actually make money and take profits during their hype cycle. And
Okay,
that's
which is shortly
opportunity.
after they're launched.
Correct. That's the opportunity right there. So that's a scenario that can happen. Meme coins, I'm just starting to see that they're just not performing. The main reason is a lot of people are wrecked and just don't have the money to throw at meme coins. And that's what
Or
I'm
they've
saying.
just exited altogether.
Yeah, you got, your devs are exit scamming, which is part of the game. It's part of the meme coin game. That's why you don't risk like so much money into it. You put a little bit into it. But it just seems like everyone's going for that 2x, that 3x, and they're out. Whereas when the bull market is, everyone's just got the funds and they're just aping, throwing everything, and the candles are bigger. These are like little limp bit candles, and they're just like kind of like, ugh, like it's just like, nah, this thing's not going. Like no matter what I do, I can get people excited, but everyone's just like, I'm not putting the ETH in. I'm going to put 0.1 ETH in and see
Yeah,
what's
something
going to happen.
small.
So everyone's thinking the same thing. Let me see what happens because it's a bearish market, and that's the mentality. So now's not the time for meme coins. So I step back from it and say, all right, it becomes more of you're not going to get those fast, quick 100Xs that you do. It's just not happening. And, I'm coming to realize that. And I'm just like, it's just not happening. There's no money for it.
So one thing you mentioned there a little bit earlier, and then it kind of ties in with what you said, I'm not going after meme coins. How are you deciphering between quality projects and junk or meme coins, if you will? There's so much noise about there. Anytime a new coin comes out, and your Twitter channel is a great place to see all sorts of people shilling stuff.
Yeah.
How are you determining what's a good project?
Number one, I actually do talk to the teams.
Okay.
I see how the Telegram group reacts. If you go into Telegram groups and all you see is a bunch of emojis saying bye, 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 or we're all going to make it, like we're going to the moon, it's probably not a legit coin, a legit project. I do have people constantly giving me DMs.
Sure.
I try to respond as much to them as possible. And if I feel like it's something that interests me, I go on with questions and asking, how long you've been working on this project? What are your goals? When are you launching? How do you expect to last through the bear market for the next year or two? I'm like a manager, trying to hire somebody. So I go through those questions. I check out your Telegram. I do all that stuff. And I look for legit groups that have at least a game plan. There are people that give me coins and they don't even have a website.
Sure.
I'm just like, no, I just don't know. No, I don't even respond. What's the website? Oh, well, we're in the process of making it. No, you're just probably a pump and dumper. So there are different projects that has a good community. Like I shot out a project yesterday that had a good idea on a meme coin and it just died. And I was just like, this actually had a really good meme to it. Like it actually meant something. It was actually could have been done very well. It just died.
Oh,
I'm just like, did I not do enough research? I guess I could have broke it down and said that. But every coin's not going to make it. So
right.
I'm looking for now two things. I'm learning the NFT game.
Okay.
So that's one thing where if you say stagnant and say it won't make it, those people usually lose. So I almost feel like these NFTs, they took in a drop, but not what everyone thought. Remember, like Richard Hart was like, they're all going to go to zero. Like Bored Ape Yacht Club. I need to see all of them get washed out and go to zero. They're sitting at a floor of like 80 ETH right now.
Yeah.
So that's the crazy thing is like they took a drop, but 80 ETH is still $80,000 plus.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
like to buy one Bored Ape Yacht Club, you got to come out $80,000. So I think it's sitting pretty nice. So I'm learning the NFT game. I got like my first 5x in the NFT right now that I bought the other day, and I was trying to shill it, trying to tell everybody, let's work on the NFTs. I mean, you were the 5x for each NFT that you've gotten so far, and it's going up. And literally, I get 10 likes. Because everybody's like, he's probably getting paid. I'm not getting paid. I'm just learning. I'm doing what I did in 2018 and 20. I'm literally repeating the same thing. What did I miss out on? I missed out on NFTs. So therefore, I look at NFTs as smart contracts back in 2017. 2017 smart contracts were the big thing. There were coins coming out, and it was like boom, 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 boom. Everybody was all about them, just like NFTs in this bull market. But now we're probably going to see like it blossom into something bigger.
Yeah.
Not just JPEGs. Maybe they do something. Maybe they have like one of my NFTs I have, BTFA. They're going to build a store. And if you hold their NFT, you're going to get profits from that if you stake that NFT from that store.
Oh, wow.
Real life value. So NFTs are becoming things. They mean something. The Grossamer seeds that I'm doing, it's very speculative, but it's about a TV show that people that are saying Timberland, the music producer, is part of, and Forrest Whitaker is part of this whole thing.
Oh, geez.
So this NFT, they're somehow attaching it to a TV series. So like now we're starting to see something more than just JPEGs. And if you are so in the mindset that they're not going anywhere, that JPEGs is just what all NFTs are about, you're missing the blossom effect. We saw smart contracts evolve to DeFi. Hex wouldn't have came out if it wasn't for 2017 smart contracts and the ideas of creating smart contracts, and all these crazy ideas started coming out. And then those who stood around and evolved into those smart contracts with these great ideas like Hex, like all Cult DAO, and all these other smart contract platforms came out, they evolved. That's what I see what's happening with NFTs. So that's why I'm learning the NFT projects. And I'm getting some gains out of it. But at the same time, I'm not missing the boat if NFTs in the next bull run evolves into something big. Because wouldn't it really suck? Wouldn't it really suck if you were sitting in all these coins, just like the people in 2017 were pissed out about the meme coin run? Wouldn't it really suck if you're sitting in these coins being pissed off that you only got a 3x from the all-time high?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you personally,
over here is getting bigger and is the bull run. It would suck. So you better get out and learn and change your mindset, because crypto is forever revolving and getting different and changing in order to bring more people into crypto. In the end, that's what it's all about. Memes brought so many people into crypto. Why? Because it wasn't confusing. I like this dog coin. It's cool looking. Now they're in crypto. Whether you liked it or not, it brought in a massive amount of people into crypto. NFTs, people were digging it. It brought in a weird select of people. Don't get me wrong. Like some of these people are very weird.
Yeah.
But they came into a form of crypto, which is all backed by Ethereum. So they're buying Ethereum to buy their NFTs. They're buying Ethereum to buy the dog coins. Well, if this space evolves even more within NFTs, don't have a closed mind and say, I'm not trying to learn anything. And that is the difference between what made me millions in the last bull market versus those who didn't, because they were just stuck on their ways. So that's
huge advice, because personally, I can tell you, I've always thought NFTs were stupid, and they were going to die. But just
Me too.
recently, you know, I paid a little bit of attention to the project you're talking about. There's a few other people that are talking about some pretty unique NFT projects right now in the learning and education space, in the video game space. And I see how these NFTs can be built upon, and they can, you know, be characters that you can, and it's like, oh, this isn't going away. And not only that, it's evolving. So I appreciate you saying that I need to learn about it.
Yeah, it's what I did. I just sat down and said, you know what? I need to stop being single dimension. Like I just need to stop being maxi. Here we go. That's a kid. Go back to that maxi mentality. I was being maxi within crypto. Just how I hate like maxi hexagons.
Yep.
Like they just can't see out of that tunnel. That's how I was just with crypto when it came to NFTs. So I stepped back and said, you know what? Maybe I need to step out a little bit. And I've got nothing but time in this bear market to at least learn and understand what's going on and play with it and potentially get myself in that section of crypto just in case it is the next big thing that evolves within crypto.
Right.
Like in the end, like it could be smart contracts within NFTs. Like there's so many ways it can go. Like metaverses never really took off. And coins like PulseChain is probably going to help the metaverse space because of gas fees. Well, now you've got NFTs that they're talking about in metaverse as playable things of NFTs as playable characters in your metaverse. Like people don't realize that like Facebook just got into the metaverse game. They just changed their name to Meta. Something's going to go down. Something's going down. And when you're adding NFTs and you're seeing all these famous people getting NFTs, yes, there will be a bear market, but think outside the box. It might expand. And that's why I'm like all about it. I'm not big on Hedron NFTs and Hedron being an NFT. The reason why I'm not big on Hedron, Freedom Aware, is just because I personally, just me, want to evolve outside of just the Hex ecosystem.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
That's that tunnel vision thing. So there's nothing against it. I'm not downing anything like Maxi, even within Maxi. Like I don't down it. It's just that, hey, I'm in Hex already. So I don't want anything. I don't want to keep investing more money into something like that. It's nice to make it grow, but I'm not all about one coin. That's just not me. It never was me. I feel that my gains can be bigger elsewhere to where I can get 500,000. Like I'm literally projecting, we can go back into this. I'm projecting it for me to 80,000x Cult.
Wow. From where you got in or
from my get in.
So, where is that today? At today's price, where is that? I'm just trying to think out loud. You said 120 billion is where you think it might be able to go today.
Well, here's the thing. My 80,000x is saying it won't do a SHIB. They'll do half of SHIB.
Oh, so that's just a half of SHIB next cycle.
But the total market cap goes higher.
I see.
So therefore, when coins do those type of runs, more money is coming in. So if you're sitting at half of SHIB, and SHIB's sitting at $120 million market cap, or $20 billion market cap, to pull half of what SHIB did, because SHIB got to the top 10. So if it pulls half of what SHIB did and gets to a $60 billion market cap, which SHIB did a $40 billion market cap, but because of the money wise, I'm saying do half of what it does to a $60 billion, you'll be sitting in the top 25 as a $60 billion market cap. And that would be an 80,000x from when I got in.
Wow.
If it pulls a SHIB and says, I'm going straight to the top 10, which I think Cult has the ability to do, 199,000x.
Wow.
I've already did the calculations, bro. So
I can tell you have, because your smile is just like ear to ear right now.
Yeah. So
fantastic.
So when I look at that, people don't realize People don't realize. See people that says it ain't happening are the same people that said that I couldn't 12,000x SHIB in less than a year, and I did it.
Yeah, I put that up there
People that
because it's
said it didn't
important.
happen to Hex, they said that same thing. It won't happen to Hex. The way people are talking like that are the same people that said it about Hex, same people that said it about Ethereum, same people that said it about Bitcoin. Do you see a pattern going on? The same people that say it's not happening are the same people that have their jaws dropped and miss out on the opportunities of things actually happening.
Sure.
Crypto has
So I
been
put
doing
that up
it
there.
every single bull market since 2008. And every single bull market, bear market, people say it's not happening. And every single bull market, it's just it's literally a repeat of the same actions over and over and over and over again. But for some reason, you expect something not to happen. It happens in crypto. Every single bull run, it happens.
Well, we just spent a lot of time talking about this at the beginning of the stream on how it's all patterns. It all seems to be repeating itself. And if you follow the charts, you can pick it up. And I don't disagree with you. And I put that up there not to, spark controversy or anything, but it really went to what you were saying earlier on thinking outside of the box, not being so myopic in view, look outside and what's happening. And, even if you take a small position and you're wrong, so then what, you 10x, you 20x, 100x the small position, but why not try?
Why not? It's the bear market. You find the coins that are getting the most attention and has a follower count that's consistently growing every day. So the person that said it ain't happening, I would like to speak straight to the Hex Pulse win. I'm explaining to you why it can happen.
Okay, I'll bring this back up.
I want to explain to you why it can happen.
Yeah, please do, because I'm going to learn from this as well.
Yeah. So Cult, what people don't realize, and I've been making videos about this with Cult, the count is going up. The wallet holders are going up during a bear market. Cult is the only coin that I know that is going up versus ETH since May. Every day, the chart is in an upward angle. She would be going that way. So an upward angle versus ETH. There is no other coin, I promise you, Hex Pulse Win, that you are in that is going up versus ETH during a bear market. So what's happening is coins are falling versus ETH, and ETH is dropping hard, which means those coins are dropping harder.
Right.
If you look at the Cult chart, the price is going sideways. Everyone that hates on Pulse, they give the US dollar chart. Never during a bear market look at the US dollar chart, because everything goes down versus the US dollar during a bear market. What should you be doing? You compare it versus ETH and Bitcoin. Why? Because those are the majors that will always be number one and number two. So if you're comparing it versus the majors and you're going up and you're having a long-term chart going up versus ETH, what do you think is going to happen during the bull market? It's going to finally break out and smash it versus ETH because it's in a long-term uptrend. It's in a daily uptrend. It's in a weekly uptrend. Then it will turn into a quarterly uptrend, a monthly uptrend, and then a monthly uptrend, then a quarterly uptrend, and then you're in a massive bull market on a yearly time frame against ETH. This is why you need to learn charts. Now, let me break it down just a little bit more that will make you 10 times more bullish and buy Cult.
And this is all by accident. I didn't even ask this question.
No, but now it's going to happen. You're going to get some more alpha. Cult is an ultra deflationary coin. If you like PulseX, you are dumb to say you don't like Cult. If you like PulseChain, you are dumb to say you don't like PulseChain. Why? Coins are consistently being burnt for every single trade.
Yes.
When that happens, you are realizing if you look at the supply of Colt, there's nothing left. There is 6.6 trillion coins for the total supply. 1.7 of it has been burnt. Colt really has only been pumping for 3 months. Think
That's
about
crazy.
that. 6.6 trillion total in the last 3 months during this bear market where everyone's selling and everything's going bad. Guess what? 1.7 of that 6.6 has been burnt. And if I don't think the bull market's coming for until 2025, good luck. You better be buying it now because there ain't going to be none left to buy. And if there's nothing left to buy, why are you so bullish on PulseChain? Because it's all out there. And you better be paying some big bucks to be able to get it. So in PulseChain chain, in terms relating it to Colt, it's the exact same thing. Now, let me break it down even more. 723 Colt is out there making money for Colt. And there's proposals being made, and that number is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. What happens when all that Colt gets taken out, or all that ETH gets taken out of those systems and buys back and burns Colt? When there's very little supply, it's called supply shock. It buys it up and the price ultra pumps. And the only way it goes down is when profit's taken. And what happens when profit's taken? Colt is burnt. What happens when that ETH comes back into the system? Colt is burnt. Just not too long ago, there was 1.1 trillion Colt left on Uniswap. There's now about 260 billion Colt left to be bought.
So it's already dwindling in supply.
It's already been done.
That's awesome.
You haven't seen anything yet. And that's why you're seeing the price versus ETH go up, because there's no one selling. Just like PulseChain. Ain't nobody selling shit. There's swing traders, but all those swing traders are doing, burning Colt. No one's really selling.
I didn't even think about that. The people that are swing trading it are helping burn it.
They're helping it. They're literally helping it. And ready for this? I'll give you some more alpha. Then break it down even more. Why you should be buying Colt.
Nice.
You ready for this? While the bear market is down, your ETH buys more Colt. So if I take 1 ETH and buy Colt with it, it buys way more Colt than if the price is high. If the price 10x's right now, that 1 ETH gives me less Colt. But right now, while the price is down, that 1 ETH buys a ton of Colt. Now, let's flip it around. When it's burnt, it burns more Colt because the price is lower. You want the price to be low because more Colt is being burnt and hyper deflationary. I don't even want the price to pump right now.
No, I don't either, because I got some buy orders in that are low.
I am chilling, staked, letting you guys talk shit on Colt. Meanwhile, the supply is literally freaking getting taken away. And I'm sitting there laughing. Because when the time is right, that's why you hear Mr. O say, it's time. It's time. When the time is right and all that Colt is burnt and you try to buy that Colt, then you're doing nothing but buying the price against yourself. Because there ain't nothing left on the market to buy. So this is what you're going to see in the future with PulseChain. This is what you're seeing the future with PulseX. You're literally seeing it with Colt. The only difference is Colt puts PulseX and PulseChain to shame when it comes to deflationary act. Colt is that on massive steroids. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 80s. It's literally pumping steroids into himself, just like literally
Injecting it into his biceps.
going like that. Like it's literally flexing on it, because this is the difference. Yes, every buy and sell is burning Cult. Every buy and sell burns PulseChain. But here's the big thing. It's literally buying other coins and just taking the proceeds of that, takes those gains, brings it back into the system, buys and burns Cult. While everyone buying it is burning Cult, while everyone selling it, buying is burning Cult. And for every proposal that comes in, every single time, the gains from those proposals is burning Cult. There's going to come a time where you're like, how much money do I have? And the price is just pumping during the bull run. So it has the tokenomics is massive, but at the same time, it has that storyline that we talked about earlier in the last stream.
Yeah.
It has that storyline that everyone believes and feels in crypto, because we kind of have that libertarian type mindset.
Yeah.
When you're in crypto. So when you read the manifesto, you're like all about it, because like it hits you and you're like, that's how I feel. Yes, absolutely. So for all those people that are going to be coming into crypto, they're going to have that same mindset and they want something fresh to buy. They're going to pump the hell out of the Cult bags, because there ain't shit left to buy. During the bear market, you should be buying. And that's why you see the top wallets just adding to their bags. They're not selling. Nobody's selling. You're looking at those wallets and they're adding to their bags, because they know that when they sell, they want to have a lot more Cult to keep selling as the price gets going higher and higher. The math behind it says that Cult by 2025, I think I forgot what the date was, can overtake Bitcoin's market cap.
I remember you saying that last time. That's wild.
It's like I don't want to get
wild
on it. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like that's crazy. But
we just lost 20 viewers.
You're seeing it because we're doing it during a bear market. Like you're seeing the supply dwindle by the bear market. So just because it burns doesn't equal to buys. So that is the key. Like that is, you do have to realize it doesn't mean people are going to buy the market cap. But what means is what you saw during this past run up, it's going to be 20 times easier. I don't know what the number is, but way more times easier to pump, because there's less to buy. It's that simple.
Nice. I want to address a question here. Freedom for All saying, is this a PulseChain project? No, Cult is built on Ethereum, which makes it a PulseChain project, because when PulseChain launches, you're actually going to get a copy of any Cult that you own on your PulseChain wallet. So in a roundabout way, it's a PulseChain project, but no, it is currently built on Ethereum. So you just answered a lot of the questions I was going to get into. I wish I could talk to you all day, but I'm kind of running out of time, and I want to be respectful of your time too. So I want to finish this off with, what are your favorite coins coming out of the bear market? And before we get into that, I want to give a huge shout out to Cryptographics for joining us today. I'm a little bit of a fanboy of his, so the fact that he tuned into one of my streams, I'm really appreciative of. He's asking about, do we think the market has bottomed? We talked about this a little bit earlier in the stream. It may have, based on some of the TA that B-Roots has done with BTC, coming really close to the 300-week moving average. But you think, B-Roots, correct me if I'm wrong, that even if we have bottomed, we're going to trade sideways for quite some time before we head back up. Is that right?
Yes. I think that 300-week moving average is the actual bottom of crypto, but that 400-week moving average, do not relay that out, because with that 400-week moving average, in my opinion, is the doomsday. The world is shutting back down. Like some type of news like that. Corona. I don't want to say that out loud because I don't want to mess your chat up.
Yeah, don't get me canceled, man.
the CD is back, and the markets start crashing again. That's the 400-week moving average. So that's why I put that out there. Something happens crazy to where it's like the United States doesn't like Bitcoin and we're banning it.
Sure.
And boom, everything's just dropping and it goes down to that number. That number is sitting at 12,600. I don't see a scenario of us closing a weekly candle below 12,600. I don't even see us going below that because that 300-week moving average is as strong as an ox. But if there's that doomsday scenario, that black swan event, that's the 400-week moving average. So do I think it's like, I personally am pretty much going 80-90% of my USDC, everything I have in the crypto at the 300-week moving average if it goes back down to that amount.
Okay. And if it
But
dips,
I'm saving a nice little percentage of buying crypto if it gets down to that amount, that doomsday amount. I will never say never because
right. We've learned that.
Yeah, this is crypto, man. Anything can happen. And I originally said the same thing that Richard Hart said for 2.5 years ago. I literally said we're going up to $55,000. That was my number, whatever, a $1.2 trillion market cap, whatever Bitcoin was at that time. That was the top. I said that 2.5 years ago. And I also said we would drop 85 to 95% down back to the $10,000. The exact same Richard Hart said is the exact same thing that I said 2.5 years ago. However, once I did the research and found the 300 and 400-week moving average and how crypto has been playing off of the last 10 years, I said I will take this over me saying this is what's going to happen. I'm going based off of facts. Yes, there is facts that it drops 85 to 95%, but I think the facts in that video that I did with the 200, 300, 400-week moving average has way more pull than any facts of that of people saying it's going to 10,000.
Right. So no, I agree. I like that. So closing it up, favorite coins coming out of this bear market. I think I could predict a few of them. One's going to be that sounds an awful lot like PulseChain.
Yes.
PulseChain, PulseX. I'm going to guess Cult, Streamer, Inu, MRI. I'm going to save the conversation about Revolt for a little bit longer here, but let's address this question here. Freedom for All says, Crypto Kindness, guys, most people don't explore the risks of PulseChain. Everyone focuses on the gains. Please explore what the main risks of PulseChain are. Well, the number one main risk is that it never launches.
Yep.
I mean, it is what it is. It could just not launch. Now, I don't believe for a minute that that's going to happen, but black swan events happen. So outside of that, B-Roots, what type of risks do you think?
It doesn't get as much adoption as people thought it would.
Sure.
That is possible. It gets gate capped, just like Hex.
That's the thing that concerns me the most.
Yeah, Ethereum. The Ethereum crowd doesn't like it. The NFT crowd doesn't like it. When they get their copies, they're pissed off. Maybe they're pissed off and Richard Hart's still doing his very style of marketing that everyone doesn't like, but they're pissed off at the same time. Right. That just adds to the gatekeeping. So that is potential possibility. I think what will happen is Richard Hart will tone it down at that time. I think he will become a little bit more professional and showing that he's there to help Ethereum. And I think in general, when he turns it down and say they are getting pissed off, which I don't think they will be pissed off. I think it's opportunity for people to make money. I don't think people are going to be pissed off, but there is a possibility that, the people to be try to go out and get Richard Hart and be that way. That's a possibility, but I think that's more FUD than reality. Like I just, we're just trying to think of ways almost to FUD it. That's what we're doing. It's like, I don't see that being a scenario. I think it will be accepted more than Hex is accepted. The gains are there to be made. And right now, as much as I hate to say, I'd rather have it be out sooner than later. I did call it. We're coming out during a bear market. So I'm just saying, I just wish it wouldn't be this long. So I do think PulseChain is coming out. I do think PulseChain is pretty much done, no matter what they want to say. I do think right now it's just being optimized. It's just making it better. It doesn't have to be better. Just like he said last August, we can launch with minimal viable. So to say you can't do it now, I just don't believe it. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. I do think if the bottom hit, if 10,000 hit last week, I think we would be eyeing down to see PulseChain within the next month.
I agree.
So I just don't believe in it's not ready. I guarantee you, if 10,000 hit last week and we started going up, PulseChain would be out right now. So that's just my belief. That's just my opinion.
He has said on stream before that he wants to launch in the bear market because he doesn't want he doesn't want any pullback after it launches. He wants the hockey stick.
Correct. And that's completely fine. And that's what I was been saying this whole year is you want to launch in the bear market. Yeah. So it's nothing new about it. Like that, it's coming out. And like I said, it might not be done, but it can come out. Like you can launch it. So I don't care what anyone wants to say. We don't know how hard or easy. Here's the question: is everyone thinks it's hard when there's a correction that needs to be done within PulseChain? What if it was actually easy to be done?
Yeah, I don't have any idea.
You wouldn't know. I wouldn't know because you're not a developer, but you're over here saying it's not done. Yeah, you got this code to be fixed, but none of these people are developers. None of these people are yapping at the mouth of developers. It could be the most easiest thing to do where people can work on that, and in 12 hours, boom, it's done. Yeah. But everyone's like, it's not done because of the code, this. It says this in the test net, and blah, 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 blah. None of these people have never developed in their lives, but they're somehow test net code developer gurus. And they're the ones talking the loudest.
Do you think the timing of the PulseChain launch is going to be suspiciously close to the timing of the documentary? The what is it called? The Greatest of States documentary launch?
I hope not, to be honest with you.
Oh, so tell me more. Why not?
I say the bottom hits and that documentary is not done. And we're literally waiting on a documentary that's not even guaranteed to be on Netflix. It could be just a YouTube documentary.
Sure.
Who's going to watch it? Bunch of Hexicans?
Yeah, about 100,000 people.
So I'm not hating on it, but the reality of it is, like, if you're basing your launch off of that, I just And in my opinion, like no disrespect to Richard Hart or anything of the documentary and this and that, in my opinion, it's not going to be anything new that we haven't heard already.
Right. It's just getting it in front of the masses.
Yeah, you're getting it in front of the masses. So if it doesn't get on Netflix, in my opinion, it's a fail. Why? Because all you have to do is watch his live streams. He's going to say the same stuff. Right. We've already watched it all. We know his life story. Everyone can watch his life story on YouTube. Everyone can hear the same stuff that he repeats every single time. I bought Bitcoin at $2, went up to $30, like we've heard all of it. So I'm not mad at it's being done. I just hope it gets to the masses. If it gets to the masses, yes, now it's bullish. But if it doesn't get to the masses, in my opinion, it's a fail in the fact that all this time it was been planned around that. So if that's the thing, like, I hope it's just something on secondary that it gets launched, everything happens, and then it's something extra to put on top of it. But if it doesn't get to the masses, if it only sticks to the YouTube crowd, in my opinion, it's a fail, because you can watch one stream and get everything that you got on that documentary.
I like what Cryptographic says here. He's wondering if just the marketing and making of the documentary itself is more important than the actual documentary from the marketing standpoint of it all. Interesting thought.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll find
I'm
out.
a marketing guy, so that's why it stumped me.
Oh, okay.
So that, I mean, everything I do is marketing, so that's why it stumped me a little bit. I wonder if making and marketing of the documentary is more important than the documentary itself.
Like it's just
I would agree, but we could both agree that it's going to have way more power if it actually gets on Netflix.
Well,
it goes
yeah.
back to that.
Yeah.
It goes back to that. In the end, it needs to be on a major platform. If not, he could have did all this marketing without doing the documentary, and it would have the same exact effect, in my opinion.
True.
I don't think the outside people care too much about the documentary. I think Hexicans care more about the documentary. For real, like they're the ones that did the raise and and funding it, so they have an interest in it. I don't think the outsiders are really caring about the documentary. They are caring about his marketing. Everyone sees his marketing, but I don't think if I were to ask a random person that's like, I'll ask Jake Gagan, and I'll make this known on my Twitter. He knows, he loves, and he's kind of an outsider coming in. He loves Richard Hart's marketing. But I bet you if I asked, did you know he's making a documentary? He'd probably be like, no, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's what you're going to get. The Hexicans care more about it than actual outside people.
I like this point. I think there's a lot to be said here, Brandon Miles. Thanks you for putting this out here. If the PulseChain doesn't come out while they're making the documentary, then the documentary won't be anything important because it needs a climax. Possibly. I don't know. I mean, it's a good thing to think of. Ended on a high note with the launch of the new coin. I personally think Richard Hart.
Is it a movie or is it a documentary?
That's a good point.
That's the thing. You don't need a climax if it's a documentary.
Good point.
You literally can have him say one word and ride off in his Lambo, and that's the end of the documentary. He can say one thing. He can say one thing. He could be like, and the next thing that I'm making that can make millions, PulseChain, and literally get in his Lambo and just leave out into the mountains. That's just as much of a climax and a freaking what the hell is PulseChain as it actually coming out and them talking about it. That actually, in my opinion, has a better freaking climax.
I was just going to say, now that you said that, I kind of hope he ends it that way.
So like, Richard Hart, I want freaking royalties off that shit if it gets on Netflix, and I came up with it. So
awesome. That was a great conversation. So your coins coming out of the bear market, PulseChain, PulseX coin, PulseX Cult, excuse me, streamer Inu. We haven't talked about much on that, but I'm running out of time. I want to ask one last question before we leave today. Tell me about Revolt. And is that something that you're overly bullish on as well, similar to how you are bullish on Cult?
Revolt is something that's going to help Cult because percentage of it burns Cult.
Okay.
So it's always going back to bulls, burns Cult. Revolt, I'm very bullish on because it gives people an income just to talk about Cult. So what this does is it allows, say we don't start going up for another year and a half, it allows Cult to be in the atmosphere of crypto out there in the real world. I think this is going to be a system that could do well for coins in the future as a second token. I've never been bullish on a secondary token ever. The main reason is its use cases are never good.
Right.
This use case is not only burns Cult, it makes people get the word out about Cult, and it pays you to do that. So you can earn up to an ETH just by doing an act of talking about Cult. Do I think it's bullish? Absolutely. Because as the community grows and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, that many people are getting paid to shield Cult, basically. You're getting paid to shield Cult. You talk about it anyways. There's like, for example, there's a bunch of Hexicans, the Germany guys, they're going around traveling on their own dime to talk about Hex. Wouldn't it be great for every single day that they got an ETH for doing what they're doing, to pay for their gas, to pay for their insurance, to pay for their time. And they made an ETH to go around the country and talk about Hex. They would love that.
Of course.
They would do that all day to get paid an ETH. Who gets paid $1,500 a day in the real world?
Not many people.
Not many people. So wouldn't that be great if you did something like what they're doing, the Starbucks, I might kill their name.
Yeah, Crypto Starbucks. That's right.
Crypto Starbucks, and get paid to do it. They're doing it for free. But literally the token has a way for you to get paid to do it. And just imagine if 17,000 plus people were doing it. Not
so who
only
decides?
You're burning Cult while doing it.
Who decides who gets that ETH? Like how is that distributed? Is there a voting system? Like
it's exactly like Cult, but instead of the proposal, the many. So you put in the proposal, the many votes on what you should do what you want to do, and you have to give proof that you're doing it. And they are the ones that voted in. So it's exactly like Cult, but any person can come in. I want to do this. I want to do that. This is what I want to do. They vote on it and say, yes, that's good. You can go through that. It goes through the system, gets done.
So like, for example, I could put in a proposal that says, well, I want to do a live stream and bring on all these people and interview them individually and make it a fun marketing network. Would people support this? And if they say yes, then I could get an ETH for doing that.
Well, up to an ETH. There's different there's different levels to what you get paid to do it. So yeah. They're going to want a little bit more, let's say,
substance.
Yeah, just outside the box, because you should always be talking about Cult. So what I do on Twitter, and I do a tweet, that's expected as for somebody that's in Cult to be talking about it.
Gotcha.
What are you doing outside the box? Like I had a UFC fighter come in and he wore the Cult mask going down to the ring. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was really cool.
So wouldn't it be cool if I set something up with the people that I know and use Revolt to do that, to constantly get it going?
That's cool.
There's different. You think outside the box. You know, there's guys talking about like going streaking in UFC. I'm not UFC now. In underwear, with Cult underwear in front of New York City. Like that's an actual event. Like you have a Cult flag or something, and you go down streaking, and then there's gonna be people doing stuff like baseball games, and like there's gonna be crazy stuff that people are gonna do. That's like, it's just like, hey, he did it, so he gets paid. So there's a fun factor to it. And at the same time, people are talking about Cult, which the more you hear it, the more you talk about it, all it is a built-in marketing machine that allows the word to get out. And the more people that hear about it, the more people that see it, when the price is pumping, what do you think is going to be done? It's no different than what Richard Hart is doing right now with Hex. The only difference is it's built in for the actual community to do it.
Nice.
It's bullish.
It's an established community, which is what you look for.
Absolutely. And last thing, it burns Cult. So everything's geared toward that. So am I as bullish on Revolt as I am on Cult? Yes, but for different reasons.
Gotcha. Because what it does for Cult, not necessarily because the token itself you expect to go through the roof.
Well, you're going to make passive income on Revolt. So there is ways to make passive income on Revolt. So it's a different form of income than it is. Like you can get income just from daily income of getting a day ETH and a half. If I can come up with 365 unique ways to gain an ETH and a half, and I can do that now, and I just put it on the calendar, and every single day I just make that proposal, and it happens, and boom, 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 I make an ETH and a half a day. There you go.
Nice. Nice.
One do.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this one up. This has been amazing. I've got so many notes over here of things I need to re-listen to and timestamps and all this type of stuff. We've had up to 60 people in the chat with us.
Nice.
And thank you all for joining us. I like to leave all of my streams with a positive question, something to get the people excited about. I have a sneaking suspicion where you're going to go with this, but as I asked you in my last stream, the bear market is here. There's still a lot of opportunity to make money. I don't care, if it's PulseChain, if it's Hex, if it's Cult, if it's something, you haven't even told us about. But what I'm going to ask you right now is tell me something good. Tell me something you're excited about, you're bullish on, and that just, gets you excited to get out of bed in the morning.
I'm excited that I'm in coins that I believe that are going to be the top coins of the next bull market. I'm very excited that it's going to literally, my life has already been changed, but it's going to take me at a whole nother level in finances that I would have never imagined 3 years ago. It's coming faster than what I thought. And I think if you put yourself in that position, that exact same position, it can happen to you because it has happened to me. And I'm no different than any one of you guys. Literally, the glasses is a marketing thing. The belt is a marketing thing. But at the end of the day, I put my pants on just like you, just like Richard. We are no different. What Richard Hart did, you can do the same thing as far as finances. You just have to step out of the box, hold the right coins, and don't forget to take the profits.
The number one thing we said
if you do all that stuff right, but you don't take the profits, all that goes to waste that you worked for during the bear market. You have to take the profits, whether it is you want to take off your profits in Hex and buy back the low, or you don't even want to do that and you say that's just not my style and I just want to take off the interest. You need to take profits. So if you don't believe, if there's anything that you need to do, there's 2 things you need to do. Number 1, laws of meme coins. That is just not for meme coins. You can use that for the long-term prospect of crypto in general. There are sections in that video that literally tells you how to sell and buy Bitcoin. When are the tops? If you looked at that in the weekly chart, you would have been out of crypto when Richard Hart said, get out of crypto. Maybe a week later, if you didn't even know who Richard Hart was, a week later, you would have been out of crypto and you wouldn't even bought back in yet. Because the chart doesn't even tell you to buy back in. The buy signal hasn't even happened on the buy week on the buy chart. So that all said and done, when you leave all that out to play, watch the law of meme coins and take profits. And the third one, get in coins that are very hyped and doing work during the bear market, because those are the ones that are going to have the biggest gains at the end of the bull market.
That's priceless advice right there. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. B-Roots, I'm going to, if you don't mind hanging out in the green room in the back for a minute or two afterwards, I'd appreciate that. But thank you. I can't thank you enough for being here today. Everybody, again, joining here, thank you for participating, for listening, for asking questions, for engaging with us. It's been a tremendous amount of fun. I think I'm going to be able to pull out almost 10 quotable clips out of this because there's so much alpha. And I mean, you've said so many good things that people need to hear, and I want to get that message out there. So I can't thank you enough. I'm going to go ahead and end it here today. Everybody have a terrific day. Enjoy your weekend.
Kenny G, my man.